knowing you're going up against one of the, if not the best defensive line in all of football?
Yeah, excuse me. It's a great challenge. I mean, the guys are. It's a great rush group. You're on the road with silent count. Just a lot of things that go into it. And, we always have individual matchups every week. There's always a good rusher or two in every group. Every single guy across their front. And even when they start rolling in second-team guys, they can rush the passer really, really well. And it's a real challenge. I mean, it's exciting to have that challenge. It's a great challenge. It's a challenge, though. You really got to dig in and be ready to go.
What makes Hassan Reddick a unique challenge?
Speed. Yeah, Hassan has a very, very a great get off, great speed. He's got a real good ability to finish at the top of the pocket. A lot of guys can get to the top of the pocket with speed, but it's really hard to turn and make that last turn to the quarterback and make the play. And he can just keep running with great speed and make that turn at the top of the pocket, which is really, really good. And when you think, okay, I'm going to get out there and make sure he can't run around the corner, he can beat you inside. He's got a little bit of everything. He's really developed his game. It's really cool to watch a player that you really didn't give much mind to when he was in Arizona, and then all of a sudden as time's gone on, he just keeps working at his craft, and becomes this really elite pass rusher, which is really cool to see. For me anyway, to watch a guy develop. Colton probably wishes he didn't develop quite as fast.
I know they have a 3-4 defense, but do they ever do any of the wide 9 stuff that they've done in the past?
Yeah, definitely. When they get to nickel, when they go to their nickel 4-down package, and really at the end of the day, those two guys, they're the outside linebackers, really play like wide 9s anyway. But when they get to the 4-down, it looks much more like our defense with a 2-eye and a 3 technique inside, and then the two guys that are the outside linebackers playing those end positions. So it's very similar to what they've always done.
240 pounds, but does he play like a kind of a bigger, stronger end?
Yeah, he plays with great leverage. Both those guys do a really nice job of setting the edge with leverage, use their arm length, use their anchor. They can bend and sit down, and they do a good job. Both those guys are good edge setters.
Is John Feliciano an upgrade from Burford, and if so, how is he the superior player?
Right now, I'd say that everybody's great about the same this season. There's a very fine line between all of them. So to say that one's an upgrade over another, and they all bring something different to the table. All the guys that are in there. Trent's the only guy that kind of is an outlier. Is probably cut above everybody else as far as ability and the things that he does. But when you look at the rest of the guys, you can get any given game and you can say, oh, this week Colton's better, this week Spencer's better, this week John's better, this week Trent, Jake. We're all about the same. They all play well together, they work well together, and it's just what they bring to the table on a given week.
What does Feliciano do well?
John's thing is he's in pass protection. He's pretty reliable. He's very, very his experience level is, I guess, the thing that would be the most. He's been there, done that, played in the games, has experienced all the things, has played against these players that we're playing against this week. We've been in the division against them the last couple of years. So every week it's a different thing. And then so John brings that experience level, and I'd say his pass protection is probably the thing he's probably doing the best job of right now.
Where is your offensive line, both individually and working together, compared to or what you hoped or expected they would be at this point in the season to where they actually are right now? Are you pleased with the way the offensive line is coming along?
Yeah, I mean, I just say we're still trying to get better. I mean, pleased, we've been okay. We were productive. Offense has been productive, and running the ball protection wise. But there's just so many things we can do better. We're just not there yet. We're work in progress, man. We are. Each individual's getting a little bit better every week. That's the thing I did notice over the bye week, and it's continued these last 3 weeks since the bye. That I did notice. It was incremental. It was small, but Spencer, Colton, Jake. Banks to a degree that he got hurt. You saw him getting better. Even Trent. Trent has to get himself back into playing shape from early in the season to as we go through the year. He gets better and better as the year goes on, as long as he stays healthy. And so I think we're progressing and working to get better. But man, there's a lot to do. What I like seeing as a group is I do think they're beginning to work better as a group as each week goes on. That's the thing that I hope continues. There's so many things that go into playing well together as a group, and it's not just line up next to the same guy. It's just understanding the concept of a play and understanding how the defense how we apply our techniques and fundamentals to that play against this particular defense, and then having the guys being on the same page with it. That's the thing that's really exciting to watch as it goes on. And as I've stated here before, it's, you play football every day, and we play 6 days a week or whatever it is. We get to practice and do all that we get to do, and guys can get better. And our guys, because of Kyle and how we do things here, they're always working. We're always making sure that they have to work, and when they work at it, they tend to get better if they have the ability to do it. So it's been incremental, not there yet. I mean, not at all. I'm glad we got 6 regular season games left to see how we do. And this will be a great test to see where we are.
Along those lines, are you happy that this game's coming, first week in December and not the, middle of September?
I'm good either way. I'm good either way. It's a tough opponent. They'd have been tough in September. They'd have been tough in December. They're a really, really good opponent, good team.
To run on the Eagles' defense.
That they like when we played Jacksonville. The thing that we commented on was that it wasn't like it was confusing. It wasn't like they had a bunch of crazy things to pick up and block. They just defeat blocks well. They just are good players, The big guys inside get off blocks and make tackles. The edge setters set edges and get rid of the guys that are trying to block them on the edge and make tackles. The inside linebackers, although they've lost one of them, the more you study them, man, they're hard to get blocked on the second level. They do a good job of either running around or running over the top of and making linemen miss them on the second level, and they get to make tackles, and they do a good job of not getting blocked, and I guess that's what makes you pretty good on defense.
Jalen Carter does some amazing things. What do you see when you watch him?
Well, just the thing is, you see, obviously, the run defense, and we just talked about it, how strong and physical the guys are up front. They do a good job of dealing with blockers and getting off blocks and making plays, but the explosiveness with which he can rush the passer, he's just got this tremendous explosion, this side-to-side movement, the way he gets into a guy and all of a sudden, bam, a quick move, and he's off the guy and in the quarterback's face. Just tremendously explosive for a big man.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
It's been a while. Seems like it's been forever since we played on Thanksgiving. And in regards to that, it was a great performance. But I must say that's not going to do anything to help us this week. We got a great opponent and NFC champs. A good football team, well coached, a lot of talent across the board. Probably the best offensive line that we've faced all year. And it starts up front with Kelsey. I consider him to be first ballot Hall of Famer, outstanding player, and he really makes that show go up front. Tremendous run game, does a great job in protection as well. Swift, their run game, as I just mentioned, is phenomenal, along with Hurts. It's hard to stop. And then once you start talking about their outside threats with Brown and Smith, tremendous threats down the field. They're great after the catch for us, making guys miss. So there's no question we're going to have our hands full this week. And with that, I'll take your questions.
You mentioned Jason Kelsey. What is it that makes him just so different and special at that position?
I just his knowledge of the game. I don't know him personally, but I know that he spends a lot of time watching a lot of tape, really studying his opponent, listening to the TV copy, trying to get any pointers he can get for us, calls, adjustments, and whatnot. And he's just, phenomenal in really putting them in the best position to be successful up front.
Is he the key to the brotherly shove play that they do?
I don't know if he's the key. I know right now he's definitely a major component of it. Definitely hard to defend, based off what they do. And I was talking to the coaches. The only way to defend it is not allow those guys to get in that position.
Is there a way, if you drew it up on paper, a tactic for stopping it? Would it be quickness from your interior linemen?
I think that's a complete study with physics and, dynamics and everything, to be quite honest, because it's about leverage, power and whatnot. They have leverage, they push and they shove in. So I think it's real tough right here to limit that for us 1 yard. I know it's funny, but you can't allow them to get in that situation. We got to try to find a way to win on first and second down. They operate off, I think he said, 1st and 8 for them, because it's automatic. They're going forward on 4th down if it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
Because of that, knowing that if if you get them in 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, they might still be going for it. You'd have to approach 3rd down.
Well, I feel like anytime we can get them in the fourth down, it's still encouraging. You know, we still have an opportunity, you know, regardless that we know that they're going for it. So it's something that we've talked about as a staff. It's something that we definitely have worked on. So I'm not going to concede that we can't stop it. We're going to be prepared and ready for it.
With the Amador, how has he kind of grasped the challenge of going back and forth between slot and outside, and what's made him so successful to him?
Well, I just think, you know, his ability, number one, going back in the spring, is just, number one, showing us that he wants to do it. And has put the time and the effort in. You know, a lot of things that I know you guys don't see. He spends a lot of time with Coach Daniel Bullock, you know, extra meetings coming in and just really wanting to understand all the nuances of that inside nickel position. He's done a tremendous job with his run fits. That was one of the things that we wanted to make sure that he improved on from the spring. His ability to cover and play out in space. I mean, he's one of the best guys that we have that can do that. So, but in the run game, he's a linebacker, and that's where he's improved.
You got 5 really talented young defensive backs. How do you prepare them for this stage and this environment? Can you talk more about it this week?
You know, it's a cliche, and it's funny. I just finished talking to the guys about it. You know, we can't allow it to get in the way. You know, whatever that it may be. You know, I know it was snowing earlier this week. Could be snowing or raining this weekend. You can't make any excuses. The environment there is hostile. The crowd, they got great fans. That can't be an excuse. I feel like our players has rose to the occasion each and every time, particularly Mooney. Those guys, Ambry has stepped up. You know, Seattle's a very tough place to play as well, and I thought those guys handled that environment well. So it's not really about them. It's about keeping the focus on us and going to do what we need to do to win this football game.
What's unique about Jalen Hurts, and what's the key to defending him?
I think, number one, just as a person, I don't know him personally, so don't take this wrong. I think he just shows a lot of poise, very confident. You can see that over the years and what he's been able to accomplish. Has great command of that offense, and as we've seen the last couple of weeks, he has the ability to never be out of it. He can bring those guys back. I think they do a great job in really putting him in position to be successful. You know, no slight to this offense because it's phenomenal, but you know, it's a RPO college type deal. So you know, there's certain reads that they tell them to look for. That's why we got to do a great job on the back end and not tipping those reads off.
That's Jair Brown's first start.
I thought Jair did a great job. You know, it was nothing glaring that I felt like he was out of place. Again, I felt confident with Gibson back there, along with, you know, Fred and the guys that we surrounded him with, that he was going to do well. He's doing a great job with his communication. Saw that yesterday in practice, just being assertive in certain things on the back end. I feel very confident when I can hear and see that.
Kyle mentioned that he thought Eric Armstead and Javon Hargrave have really started to work together much better. What have you seen from them since the bye?
Well, I see that they got their legs back. You know, they're fresh. They have completely, in my opinion, controlled the line of scrimmage the last couple of weeks. You know, it's going to be a challenge this week, but that's one thing that we talked about. You know, we got to do a great job inside with our tackles. I know you guys probably have talked to Hargrave if you haven't already. I know he's excited about this game, but in the same token, it's just another game, you know. So we got to go and do the things we got to do up front to be successful to help us win this game.
You had various travel with TK obviously last week. Hadn't done that to my knowledge this season. How hard a decision is that to make? How complicated is it? And we did hear that John Lynch and Kyle kind of had some input on that. How did it all work?
Well, to be quite honest with you, We talked about this back in the spring because we knew at some point in time that he was going to have to match up, and we started going left and right. Mooney came to my office probably about a month ago talking about can he eventually get to that point. And we looked at it against Evans, against Tampa. We had the mindset of doing it. We talked a lot of part of the week, and they felt more comfortable staying left and right. That was our mindset going into it. When I first got here, watching cut-ups, and that was one of the things that jumped out to me was his complete domination of DK when they matched up. So that was something that we wanted to do all week, and I think it was just a conversation, a miscue in what we wanted. He went out, and got it done. So I think he's fine, and we'll see exactly where he is this week for us matching up.
What's your philosophy on having a spy against a running quarterback? Is that anything that you've done in the past?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to advocate for 12 this week, but I didn't get that rule passed. But yeah, I think anytime that Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, you better have someone that's allocated for him, because at any point in time he can win with his feet and make things happen. The great thing about him, he's not looking to run. He can, escape, but his eyes will stay downfield, and he's still trying to put the ball in the air.
Elaborate on Mooney just getting to the point. What did you want to see from him to get to the point where he's following a receiver?
It's not really anything I wanted to see. I just feel like he's one of our better cover guys. That's the reason why we paid him. That's the reason why he came here, and he has stepped up to that responsibility. And for him, like I said before, a month ago, to come and ask me for that, it just shows me where he is and what he wants to do. So I'm looking forward to, once again, as we progress and move forward, to see exactly what teams, is it this week or moving forward, that he would match up again.
What makes A.J. Brown such a handful? What makes A.J. Brown such a handful?
Size, strength, his ability after the catch. He's just so strong. You put him in the class of the guys the last 2 weeks, DK and Evans, and very deceptive speed. As he gets down the field, he's a go ball kind of guy, can create separation, and then at the point of attack, he's strong going up and trying to push you off to go get the ball. So again, great challenge for us this week. Thank you.